All right, so a little bit of housekeeping. We're gonna start off at thanking everybody. We did get over that 50 mark, so I can do lives just through YouTube. So I appreciate that. Got over the 50, so wonderful. Appreciate all the likes, all the subscribes, any comments, views or anything. That's always appreciated. Continue to support, and I'll continue to give you content. What we have here is now we have DJ Envy, Sir Envy. He has a situation whereas his wife wasn't enjoying sex with him for 10 years in their relationship, and I'm assuming she put it in a book, and her putting it in a book, they had a discussion about it, and they had that discussion on the Shade Room, and they also had that discussion on the Breakfast Club, which brought into account women enjoying sex and communication with sex and all of that, you know what I mean? And then I was just listening to Bernard's show, and on Bernard's show, you had guys on there that were kind of discussing the very same thing. Some dudes out here who don't know where the clitoris is and that kind of talk, which, again, same kind of talk. And I found that to be really, with all due respect, clown shit. Not that you shouldn't care about a woman's pleasure in the bedroom, right? Because let's be real, if she enjoys it, you can enjoy it better, and you both can have a great outing. But I think that we're the only race of men, or at least the race of men, who have this conversation the most, and we shouldn't. Like, we should certainly not be talking about how to please our women in the bedroom as much as we do. Like, that's a commentary on a lack of focus. I don't think Asian men are having this conversation. I certainly know white men aren't having this conversation, and African men certainly aren't. Maybe Hispanic men on some level are having this conversation, but like other races of men who are competitive aren't having this goofy ass conversation. Not to say that sex isn't important, but sex only seems to be important with regards to giving it to a woman the way that she likes. It doesn't seem to be important with regards to how men, tend to want it. So what do you think the leverage point is, right? It's leveraging women's sex because they enjoy sex and they want sex. So they're leveraging, that. So you have to chase a waterfall to figure out how to please them. And the code is up, down, left, right, BA, select, start, or whatever, And I have no problem with, that thing, what I mean? Pleasing a woman sexually just is what it is. But that should be a conversation or a commentary that's had privately and not publicly. The reason that it's had publicly, and there's a lot of layers to this, and I'll start with the first layer of it. One of the first layers of it is the obvious one. We didn't see Gia, Casey, Miss Casey, Mrs. Envy. We didn't see Mrs. Envy until DJ Envy cheated on her. Like, that's when we saw her. We saw her when he cheated on her. So he cheated on her, and then we see her, and then we're like, okay, cool. That's his wife. She's unhappy. So we see her, They started doing a award tour, talking about their marriage, and he cheated, and they got back together, and they were going on talk shows, most notably The Real, and they would talk about it all the time. Him and Charlemagne, they didn't necessarily start the hashtag, but they certainly endorsed it. Our hashtag of Black Men Don't Cheat, which is corny. Not that I'm advocating for men to cheat, but I think that you should just be faithful in silence. Shut the fuck up. Just don't cheat. You know what I'm saying? That's more of it than anything, And if you're going to not cheat, please be honest about why you're not cheating. You know what I'm saying? When Envy cheated, his wife took his kids, if I'm not mistaken, and went to his went to her mom's house, and she was calling a divorce lawyer. And she didn't just leave and just say, I don't want to be with you anymore, here's some papers. She was going to take the kids and take his money. So like when we say black men don't cheat, we need to be honest about why black men don't cheat, or why you specifically don't cheat. And I understand you can't put it in a hashtag, because hashtag black men don't cheat because my wife was going to take half of my money or more than half of my money and take my kids and leave me as a weekend dad and ruin my life. That's kind of a long hashtag, so I get why they didn't, put all that in the hashtag. But, at least it would be honest, right? But all of this Gia, notoriety is coming from a guilt trip. And when men exist in perpetual guilt shame mode, that's when women are in control. And this is more commentary on that than about how to please your wife. Because the reality of it is that his wife was a virgin. And so his wife was probably not really taught that she should probably speak up and say, hey, I would like it probably if we did this, or maybe if we did that. And because she didn't get it, because a closed mouth don't get fed, right? And I'm pretty sure if she said, hey, this is what I like, or why don't we try this, because how could she know what she liked, or why don't we try this, why don't we try that, read some books, did whatever, and just kind of figured it out, then maybe they could have came to some kind of resolution earlier than 10 years, right? Because 10 years is a very long time to not enjoy sex or to fake it, because that's a long ass time. But the reason probably is because, something really, normal, she didn't really know her body, so she didn't know how to really come to that conclusion, that, oh, maybe I should say something. She probably thought, like most people think, that you put it in and then it works. But this is a commentary not on that, but a commentary on men losing the power dynamic in their relationship because they default to shame, guilt. And that's what black men as a whole, that's what we default to. Shame, guilt. Anything we do that's great, we have to look at our man, look at our woman, and see if she gives the okay. See if she feels like she's not getting enough shine, or she's not like, Gia is an attractive lady. I imagine she had some kind of industry hopes, or industry dreams. I'm pretty sure she had dreams to be somewhat in the industry, be it dancing, singing, fashion, something. You know what I mean? She has now got a podcast, she got a book, you know what I'm saying? She gets to just get on the Breakfast Club. Obviously, her man is the one of the three that are on there. So, her husband is. So she gets to be on there. And the power dynamic shifts. You know what I mean? And that when you live in perpetual guilt shame mode, you give your woman the power. Doesn't matter if you're the breadwinner. Doesn't matter if you do everything you can for your woman. Living in perpetual guilt shame mode will put you in a space where you give up the power. And look, not for nothing, a man giving up the power is more emasculating and more damaging than a woman, giving up the power, if you will. Before a woman is not really giving up the power, is you really kind of resting in where you should be. Nobody tells the general to lose his power. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody expects the general to give up his power. And once you're the general and you relinquish your power, it's more damning to you than it would be for, one of your privates to lose their power, or one of your soldiers to lose their power. Because that fall for grace is not that far. They're just a soldier. They're not a that. And I was listening to Bernard's show, and you had guys on there talking about, finding the clitoris. I mean, utterly embarrassing. You got guys on there saying, you know, I had sex with one girl and I recognized this, and then the next time and I had sex with this, and it's just like, you all are the corniest. With all due respect, it's just it's a commentary on how much, even when you think you the man, that we are led by our women, led by our dicks, thus led by our women. And you know, I'm not against good sex. I'm against good sex at the cost of power. You know, at the cost of the shifting of power. You know, this is a very, very quick lesson. Good sex with a woman, it's, you know, there is some compatibility that has to happen. Of course, there's some care that it takes. But really, what it really takes, you have to condition a woman to understand that if you want good sex, like if you want to enjoy this, then you have to want it as well. You can't play a power game with me in sex because I'll give up. Because I'm not playing with you. We're both here to have a good time. Let's do that. If you want that lick and that touch and that stroke, you say that. Or else, you don't have good sex. You don't get to make me go chase waterfalls. I'm not chasing waterfalls. I'm not. Either you have and enjoy the sex or don't. If you don't enjoy the sex, we can have a conversation about that. We're not doing it publicly. But we're not going to do this thing where I chase waterfalls or I chase the uncatchable because you want power. Because it's a exercise in patricisms. Patrice O'Neal asked a very, very good question. He asked a question to the crowd of women. He said, if you had a tragic accident where you lost your coochie, you just lost your coochie, train accident, and you lost your pussy, and your pussy's gone, how do you get your man to stay with you past the 2-month guilt of, I can't leave this bitch, she just lost a coochie? After 2 months, how do you keep your man? I'll put the link to that in the description. The answers were ridiculous. Suck his dick, give him asshole, so on and so forth. Nobody said anything about being a good person. Nobody said anything about telling better stories. Nobody said anything about the only power leverage that they have is sex. And if you make them be more than sex, then they have to. But if you allow them to play the power game with regards to sex, then of course you end up in a DJ Envy, Will Smith situation. Because it's abuse. Let's be real, that's abuse. It's abusive for your woman to make a book where she's saying that you didn't sexually. Now granted, she didn't say he wasn't sexually satisfying her. That wasn't her point. You know what I'm saying? That was never her point. Her point was that she didn't know how to enjoy sex, so that it, wasn't good for her because she didn't know, which is fair because she was a virgin. That was her first and only. The problem though is that if you're a man, the only way to really, process that is to be like, all right, cool, I get it. But if you're a man who kind of understands what the power dynamic is, then you don't go there. You don't allow your woman to go there. You say, no, that's not the way we're handling this. We'll figure it out. We'll take some time. We'll take a vacation, and just the whole vacation can be about figuring this thing out. If we can't figure it out, either your coochie broke or we don't need to be having sex. You know what I'm saying? I'm not playing this game. You can't go chasing waterfalls, guys. This is a commentary on how gynocentric thinking can lend itself to you being emasculated publicly. I don't know how he thought that it was a good idea that he have his wife talking about them not, that's just not a good idea. And once you apologize once and change your behavior, you don't owe that woman anything else. He cheated. That was wrong. It wasn't right. But he doesn't owe her to continue to apologize for, 10 years or so. He's been apologizing for a very long time. Like, you don't need to apologize for this long. This is bad. She doesn't get to be on TV all day because you cheated. She doesn't get a podcast because you cheated. You know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't get a podcast because you cheated. You know what I mean? And when she is on TV and is doing a podcast, she can't be exempt from from people saying things about her. You know what I mean? Like, oh, my wife wants all the support. They said that Beyonce wasn't even pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Like, people said Beyonce wasn't even pregnant. Those babies ain't hers. She wasn't even pregnant. And your wife can't take a joke. This is a commentary on losing the power dynamic in your relationship. It's not a commentary on pleasing your wife in the bed. It's not what it's about. And even if we're talking about that, she never said that he didn't satisfy her. She said she didn't know how to be satisfied, which is fair. Again, what she said was fair. It's not like what she said wasn't really, like an indictment against him. It was more she didn't know. And that's fine. But it's about losing the power dynamic in your relationship. In no way, shape, or form should you ever allow a woman to have these kind of conversations publicly. And what really pisses me off is that women get into that. We're the only race of men who give a fuck about that goofy shit. And again, not that sex is not important, but understand why men use sex. Men use sex as utility. Of course, we want to have a good time, and that's the purpose of it, right? To have a good time and say, yeah, I enjoyed myself. Ooh, this was great. But we're the only race of men who take it as far, like, our reputation for sex really stems from the fact that we give a fuck. It doesn't stem from our member being huge or, having huge penises. It really doesn't stem from that. It really stems from us caring. You know what I mean? It really stems from us caring. It really stems from the fact that we will go there. You know what I mean? We're going to do all the things that you want us to do. That's really what it stems from. And it's more concubine status than it is anything. That's how they see us. It's concubine. Like guys who think that they're getting a lot of women, thus they're, they're this sex god. No, you're a concubine. That's what you are. You're a concubine. You're an alpha concubine. If ever there was one. You're an alpha concubine. You're not this sex god. You're an alpha concubine. And enough of your time is spent pleasuring women. And that's fine. Look, you could have worse jobs or worse positions in life. You know what I mean? But certainly, it's hard to be productive and do that. And that's what we're missing. We're missing the productive part, the productivity. You know what I'm saying? We can't have a race of men concerning themselves with pleasuring their women on a level, whereas it shouldn't even be a conversation. A simple conversation is, look, ask girl what she want, and if that's not what she want, then that's not what she want, and then that's because they don't have those conversations in other groups. You know what I'm saying? But they're married more. They don't have those conversations in other groups, but their families are together. They don't have as many kids out of wedlock. They don't have those we're too sex driven. And we're sex driven because our women are sex driven. This is not a commentary on how to please your woman. This is a commentary on losing power. We're losing power. And it's shown time and time again. We shouldn't care. A woman says she's not satisfied pleasure sexually. It's just like, well, say what you want so we can get to the point. Let's fix it. Because we're not going to have this conversation publicly. Now, granted, women are going to talk to women. But if you embarrass me, you don't have a man. That's fine. You did that, and I hope you enjoyed yourself. Have a good day. See, but this is the problem too. This is why I'm not, you know what I'm saying, I'm not for the marriage, because I'm sure that Envy and Charlamagne specifically, their money has went up in the last 10 years. You know what I mean? Like, if they weren't millionaires, if they weren't millionaires then, they're certainly millionaires now. You know, from when they were cheating to now that they're not cheating. I will never cheat. I have not been cheating for 4 years and 3 months and 6 days. That nigga was fucking, what's the Erica Mena. Oof. I mean, Erica Mena is a bird. If ever there was a bird, you could look up the definition of a bird. She's a bird. But, she not normal fine. She is not normal fine. And maybe it's because, maybe she's fine. She is fine, isn't she? She got to be fine. She is. I think she's fine. I don't think it's because of nothing. I think it's because she's actually, she actually attractive. But the fact that he's having sex with her, it's like, yeah, he can have sex with other women, other attractive women. You don't then take the power, and look, cheating is wrong. I don't think that you should actually have sex with other women. You should only demonstrate that you can. And you don't demonstrate you can by saying, I can have sex with any woman in the world. You demonstrate that by keeping your body up, keeping your smell game up, keeping your gear up, keeping, keep improving upon yourself, and let people talk. Like with Envy, though, he had to get rid of that the spray paint on his fucking face and shit. He got to get rid of that shit. That shit is, you know what I mean? Like, whatever your hair is, just let it be. I would just cut my hair bald, low. You know what I'm saying? All that fucking, like, spray paint in your head, like, we getting ridiculous. Nah, getting really ridiculous. But, however it goes, you demonstrate that you can get women. That's how you fucking make your woman act right. You demonstrate that you can get other women. You look good, and you make sure that you keep your body game up, and so on and so forth. That's the only way. You be better than the nigga she got. You know what I'm saying? She got you at this level. Okay, then you say, okay, cool, I'm going to be better than that. And you demonstrate that you're better. And look, it's not always, a thing where you have to do that. Sometimes you get a woman and she already gets it. Sometimes you're just that handsome or you're already that guy. But you demonstrate that through, improving upon yourself. You don't go out and do it. I don't suggest anybody go, but you always put yourself in position. Know that I don't think you should be flirting and embarrassing your wife. You just demonstrate through your actions that women would love to be in your position. You don't say it. You don't be a corny nigga and just be like, other women would love to be with me. No, you just demonstrate it through the fact that you exist. There's certain dudes that you ain't got to say, hey, look, women would love to be with me. You ain't got to do that. If you Michael B. Jordan, saying that other women like you is just like why would I need to say that? I'm Michael B. Jordan. Let's get it together. But some dudes have to improve upon themselves. Lose the weight. You know what I'm saying? Improve your money. Get your money up. You know what I'm saying? Get out of debt. Get promotions. Get education. Advance. Whatever you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Get your, you know what I'm saying, your gear up. Get your game up. Get your whatever up. All the way up. And whatever you do it. Just get up. But after you do all of that, then there's no conversation. There's no need to have a conversation. Everybody understands who you are. Okay, everybody get it? Everybody understand? All right, cool. Because we don't need to have a conversation after that. We know who I am. We know who I am. We know what I'm going to do. This is a commentary on losing the power dynamic in your relationship. And most men don't understand that. Most men see this as a thing where we got to please our women and cater to our women. No, you don't. You don't have to cater to your woman. You don't have to do anything more than what you're already required to do. You do the normal protection provisions and you care and be concerned. But like, we don't have to go overboard. You know what I'm saying? Going overboard is not necessary. Do the thing. Do your job like it's your job. You know what I'm saying? Do your job like it's your job. It's your job. You go to work every day, right? Yeah, your woman requires certain things. All right, do those things. But we're not like putting extra sauce and all that shit on it. Like, nigga, you dumb. You're changing the power dynamic in your relationship, and it's not about a game. It's saying don't play the game. You know, you don't play the game. You know what I mean? You make sure that everybody is on safety. Nobody is playing these games. Everybody's on safety. You know. Yeah, but the corniness, man, we gotta stop that. We gotta stop having a conversation on how to please your woman. You gotta find the clitoris. You're an idiot. But, you know, that's it, man. Just make sure, this is longer than I thought it was gonna be, but just make sure that you know, you're still subscribing, still liking, still, you know, viewing and things of that nature. I appreciate everybody. It's Mike Perkins. I'm out.